This one is going to be some fan art of perhaps my favorite superhero of all time. This is a Christmas-themed episode. The anniversary of the first one of these videos that I put online was also a Christmas episode. But I decided, as I have been doing, to create alternate versions of my own little caricature for different holidays. And I feel like everyone probably expected me to do a picture of Domino dressed as Santa Claus, and I decided that it would be so much more fun for me to be in a picture with Santa Claus. So that's what I decided to do. So I wanted to play with the design of Santa Claus, which most people probably don't put a whole lot of thought into, I suppose, because everybody knows what Santa Claus looks like. But there's a lot of different variations that are kind of subtle that maybe probably haven't thought of before. And so, like, everybody has the idea of the very American Coca-Cola Santa Claus, which is this very chubby old man. And there's nothing super wrong with that, but I really like this idea that the character has roots in, or the aesthetic for the character has roots in, like, Norse mythology, and the idea that Merlin and Gandalf and Santa Claus were all kind of based aesthetically on depictions of Odin. And so my Santa Claus is very Odin-esque, I suppose. I like the idea that he is a larger-than-life, very powerful figure, because juxtaposing the power with his kind heart is really interesting to me, and something that I really love about Santa Claus. And there's a cartoon called Klaus or Claus. I don't know exactly how it's supposed to be pronounced. Claus would make sense to me because it is about Santa, but I'm not sure. But in that depiction of Santa, he's a hermit that lives up on top of a mountain, and he chops wood, and he takes care of his whole plot of land there, and it would just make sense that he's a very physically strong, physically capable person, and that's the way I kind of wanted to design this. And I got a little detailed, a little carried away with the details here, because I don't know, these lights drove me crazy. I'll just say that. I'm catching up to where we are in the video now. These lights drove me crazy because I put them on a different layer than the sketch of my caricature's leg there, and I wanted to play with shading them and coloring each individual light, and it probably doesn't seem like much considering all the other details I've done in other videos, but for whatever reason, these just felt like the most tedious thing to do ever. So here I am coloring. I wanted to make sure that the fur of Santa's coat was not just straight up white. It was a little off-white to make it look like it was actually like a fur coat. I played a lot with the texture there. For a moment there, you see me popping up and color sampling. Again, I've said this before, it's grayscale, I understand that, but it's just really important to me that the grayscale is consistent. And I'm playing with textured layers. Every time I do one of these videos, it's always, I decide to try something that I'm not sure if it's actually going to work, so I put on these different textures for the wrapping paper and tried to make them look like some kind of pattern on the wrapping paper, and then I was using soft light layers and hard light layers to keep the pattern but have a shadow effect on it. I'm trying stuff. I hope it looks good. The ribbon around the package, I used the same technique that I used in my very first video, the last Christmas video, in which there was a similar ribbon used, and I figured that would be a good thing to harken back to, or it was lazy. I don't know, one of those. So I put myself in a picture. I get to, basically, for me, it's like headcanon. I get to hang out with Santa, which is just great for me. And I had a lot of fun doing kind of texture on the beard and on the coat. And then one thing I thought of, I didn't know what eye color Santa should have. And I know it doesn't really show up because I considered making it gold. I don't know why exactly, but I ended up kind of making it this circular rainbow gradient so that it's like all the colors, but it's also really subtle, so you probably wouldn't notice it. I will probably say that I'm not super thrilled with the boots at this point, but that's, all of these videos that I do, I put them out, and I always improve, and I always make them better as I go. So this is the first time I've ever really tried to design Santa Claus, and I learned some things. And here I'm playing with the background, playing with different brushes. Whenever I do these backgrounds now, I kind of use it as a time to play around and maybe try some things that I wasn't sure if they would work before. I don't know. So there it is. Here's what I have this year for you for Christmas. Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, all the other ones. Yeah. Thanks.